The world is changing. Cities are evolving. With adoption and deployment of digital technologies, cities are now more than brick and mortar. They are becoming innovatively functional and aspirational. Communities are becoming smart. Smart cities are the future.
The basic elements required in a smart city: two things: electricity, constant electricity, and high-speed internet.
In a smart city, the goal is to address growing urbanization challenges with a digital framework. The framework is an intelligent network of connected objects and machines that transmit data using wireless technology and the cloud.
A village with electricity and high-speed internet is already smart.
Smart cities can improve energy distribution, streamline trash collection, decrease traffic congestion, and even improve air quality with help from the Internet of Things.
The right leadership with the right vision, I think, can be able to deliver and change some of our cities to smart cities.
Programos Foundation is today a major advocate for the development of smart and connected communities and cities in Nigeria. The COVID-19 pandemic devastated the world, but it has also demonstrated just how much digital innovations are needed to serve the society. Innovations that make the people smarter, better connected, healthier, precipitating solutions that have a positive impact and relevant local content. Amos Emmanuel, chairman of Programos Foundation, constant refrain is that change does not happen on its own. It is influenced by people who innovate. He is always calling and urging innovators to rise and occupy leadership positions in every part of the world, particularly in Nigeria. He is a firm believer that the world innovation cannot be complete without leadership contribution from Africa and especially Nigeria. Programos Foundation Africa, tapping into the growing, the digital awareness, has taken up the challenge to help the continent progress. Programos Foundation was established in 2009 by Programos Software Limited, a long-standing leader in the capital market financial technology subsector that saw the need to fund activities, help realize the goal to deliver innovation-led ecosystem for Nigerians. Amos Emmanuel, Chairman, Chief Software Architect for Programos Software Group, is a prolific software designer and entrepreneur. He has served as ICT backbone to numerous financial institutions in Nigeria with over 25 years experience automating and maintaining more than 100 capital market operator organizations in Nigeria and Ghana with the multiple award-winning Cloud Integra. He is the UN World Summit Awards eminent national expert for Nigeria. Programos Foundation is engaged in significant work. It is helping Africa harness the power of technology. It is teaching Africa to innovate. The impressive and groundbreaking work that Programos Foundation has pioneered is particularly important in the light of the United Nations UN Decade of Action on the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). The Decade of Action calls for accelerating sustainable solutions to all the world's biggest challenges, ranging from poverty and gender to climate change, inequality, and closing the finance gap. Technology promises to play a larger-than-life role in this quest. Programos Foundation, through its work, offers Africa a huge chance and gives her a massive advantage. Programos Foundation may well be Africa's linchpin. Two important segments of Programos Foundation's multi-pronged approach include the Innovation Bed Africa and Smart City Project. Innovation Bed Africa is playing a strategic role in identifying and promoting indigenous solutions. Since it emerged on the scene, Innovation Bed has made steady progress. Today, it is a go-to organic platform for startups incubation and multiplication. Without a doubt, Innovation Bed SDGs framework offers Africans a community-based collaborative hub in the areas of mentorship, innovation capacity, development, and entrepreneurship. Indeed, the emergence of an entrepreneurial bespoke IT ecosystem is perhaps the best way to precipitate the growth of the ICT sector with the development of relevant and functional solutions. The way Innovation Bed works is to constantly explore the relationship between technology and broader social issues. Everywhere Africa appears to be behind, Innovation Bed has become a bridge builder, an aggregator, and facilitator. It is spearheading efforts to contribute to efforts to build a digital ecosystem for innovation development in Africa. Innovation Bed has incredible long-standing strategic initiative research partners, including the Global Digital Foundation, ICT4, SIDS, Info Poverty World Conference, Oparazone Global, and Amiable UN World Summit Awards, WSA, eminent national experts from over 180 countries. These alliances have bonded Innovation Bed to advance actions towards the UN Sustainable Development Goal from across the respective countries. The World Summit Awards are a unique award system selecting and promoting local digital innovation to improve society, combining an ongoing series of international events and activities with a global network of startups, social entrepreneurs, mentors, jurors, speakers, experts, government leaders, academia, civil society. WSA is an international platform for cutting-edge examples of how ICTs can impact society positively. Innovation Bed coordinates Nigeria's participation. The vision is clear: to address Africa's greatest socio-economic challenges through innovative technology solutions by offering opportunity platforms for growing quality and knowledgeable generation of startups in the new nation-building transformation agenda. Innovation Bed Startup Opportunities Gateway incubates for promotion, growing innovative African startups and impact
Right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Great, great. Nice to have all of us. I'm sure at this time we will we'll get started. Just like I left in the chat box, if you can, we may not have much of the time for the intro talks, but then we can actually use the chat box to drop your introduction, your firm, as it were. Thank you so very much. So today we will be demystifying that role of internal control. Before now we thought internal control officers are more or less like should be seen as policemen in police uniform in each of our organizations. But I don't think it's about that, really. Yes, that he's a compliance officer may not really mean that he or she is carrying that much of what we should be afraid about. But of course, we should be able to identify the role that we play as internal control as very essential. And the main reason why we are doing this is that we are in a new world. That new world where risk management, internal control is no longer that abstract issue. It's no longer abstract issue because all these things are driven by things that are before now, things that are not so forefront. They're just things that happen behind. You understand? So as a result of this, we try to see how we can dig deep into it because we are now in a world where artificial intelligence leverages all that internal control does. And we should be able to take advantage of some of this if we properly understand where we fit in. Before now, you will hear as an internal control person, what is your role in the software or application that your organization uses? And one will almost look at it that because I don't work in accounts and because I'm not a prominent worker in the operations department, it looks so abstract. It looks as if maybe we don't even have anything to do. And that is why people are sometimes also looking at what is it that we even do self, So we try to see how we can do this. And even on our mentorship platform for different categories of organizations in the past, we have now looked at it for particularly stockbroking business process so that we can try to see how this can actually gel. And permit me to prepare my talk as I initiate my talking points. Okay. And let me also thank you and all the organizations that had representatives in yesterday's edition. That started quite a grand, it started on a grand, mode where we had the opportunity to have someone from the internal control, or rather from the security assessment of the NGX group was with us. And I think particularly for the IT people, it was essential that they had the benefit of what he shared with us. And that invitation was just timely. So today, we will be looking at the theme, is actually an intelligence workshop on application tasks and internal control. We're trying to see how we demystify that role, that particular role, internal control. It's not just by fashion. It's not just by the word. There's a lot more. And this is the concern. And that is why I need your attention, please. Because it's actually what you learn from here that you can now go to evolve as kind of strategy that may help your organization. Nothing is cast in stone. There's no one way that fits everyone, but then it's best that you understand, and from there, you can now devise what helps. And we are here to particularly listen to all of this. Let me take you into the session briefly as we start. Sorry, I hope my screen is available. Someone confirm, please. Please, can someone confirm to me? My screen is available.
Yes. Yes.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. All right. So for today's schedule, I want us to have this at the back of our mind, that's the essence of risk management and internal control is actually a strategic matter. It's actually a strategic matter. And the point here is that we are narrowing it down to a typical firm or business process, being the stockbroking environment. For some of us, we may have been using automation in the capital market for more than 20 years. But what has it been? What has been your template? If you have an existing template, I would have loved that after today's discussion, you might want to gear you up to go refine your templates of what you've been doing and how this could help you going forward. And of course, your feedbacks to us matter a whole lot. Like I said, please, anything that we can leverage using our adopting models of artificial intelligence, this is the era. Okay, then we will look at the internal control and risk management mandate as it is a stockbroking firm, and we now move into specific software tasks that you may want to match with perhaps some risk intelligence. This is actually where you begin to imagine what your role has been in the organization. Because like I said at the beginning, your works are looking so abstract, but we need to begin to streamline and of course be able to measure them. And that is where that's the goal. The areas of concern here may be one in the area of daily accounting, system administration. Fine, good. We had it yesterday, but even system administration has to be put under check. Because today, the word system administration is no longer system administration. In fact, please permit me to say the word system administration has become system and business administration. Because that's actually what drives it. Okay? Then we look at the core back office. What is it? Those gamut of things that happen in there. If you are not conversant or you don't even know they exist, what compliance are you offering? We're not saying go do them, but you don't even know they exist. You're not even familiar with them. So you are a plugin that should be effective. And without you knowing what each and every one of these bits are, you will not know what risk challenges you need to begin to mitigate as the officer that should be saving of the organization per day. And of course, AI tools today, go online, you see one or two things, people, a lot of literatures in artificial intelligence, some things do compliance and predictive risk management and all that. Then corporate strategy, integration, and the next steps. So today, we'll be focusing on what impacts the application that you run. And that is why I'm trying to move you closer. People work there, they are either in the unit that are handling administration tasks. They are also there in the organization handling things that relate to general ledger, that is the accounting and financial control of the organization. Fixed assets, bond equity, and even people go to real-time trading portal to trade. And even more, perhaps for you that are into, if you have your management process expanded into financial operations, like treasury, like credits, like payroll, and every point of activity should be a point of concern to that compliance personnel. And that's what we say. It's not that there is one rule that has served any organization before now. No, organizations have actually devised and evolved from their own intelligence. Okay. Okay. So this session is not just about checking boxes, It is about transforming the internal control and risk management function, from a support unit into a competitive advantage. for our stockbroking business. If you see in some other industries, for instance, you look at healthcare, some people are into education, some people are into perhaps smart city innovations, business intelligence, smart agriculture, disaster recovery, and several other industries also do what we are talking about. But then your role, has shifted. Regulators demand real-time surveillance going forward, and you're going to see more. Some moves and steps have started. Some have not even, but then just expect that sometimes certain expectation of you may be real time. So how are you and how will you be able to cope when you are not efficient and you may probably don't have all that it takes to offer an efficient compliance reporting or mitigation? So your role actually has shifted. Regulators, like I said, demands real-time surveillance. Clients demand operational integrity, and management demands efficiency. So today the goal is to ensure that software helps in these areas, from trade execution to final settlement, from client money accounting system that are rights to everyone. So today we will learn, and I'm going to, what to look into is each of the modules of the application, how to align with observations and the firm strategy goals: growth, cost reduction, reputation, and of course, how artificial intelligence can automate first-level compliance and give you a predictive edge. And these were the background why I had to single out this day to speak with compliance officials of stockbroking firm. Who am I? I'm just a software vendor, and I'm actually a major mentor on a strategic artificial intelligence mentorship platform. And this I do as charity in my foundation, and I've done this for years. So, and that is why we are not just proposing this. We are actually taking this up to the point that the work of stockbroking, just like in several other industries, will no longer be about human beings. It sincerely will not be about human beings, because the world is there, the world is gone there, and it's already happening. Even in terms of leadership will not be about humans, because that is what has failed us right now. And that's why you won't see people like me speak in public places about governance, government, leadership, APC, ADC. I don't go with that, because you cannot bring technology to mess it up, because you as humans don't have the right will to automate. If you really want to automate, you must have the right will. So at the end, you'll be able to provide me with the list of daily software tasks, and together we will map them specific controls and things that can help you. So that's why we are starting this journey together. Before now, we would have been talking to accounts department, operations department, because people are they want to know how to post this, they want to know how to do that. But at the end of the day, all this data is being built into certain repository that nobody anywhere is thinking about or taking any measurements on them. So this now takes us to the point where the strategic importance of the essence of this talk today, is that the internal control and risk management protects the firm's license. In fact, I'm sure you know that why you are important in the organization is that you are spot on, the point person that if your license is under threat, you are the most important person to relate with. And I do hear that as a result of this, the Nigerian Stock Exchange perhaps would respect more of the compliance person than the IT officer. And this has raised some issues in the past, which we've tried to, kind of mediate and try to let the exchange understand when this is this is the person to do one thing, so that it's not as if you're actually using one officer to overshadow the other in the course of implementing certain policies for the market. So we've intervened at that level in the past before now. So the firm's license, your capital, your reputation. In stockbroking, that single settlement failure or unauthorized trade can trigger a regulatory fine, client's loss, and liquidity crisis. And I know in places, people have put these losses together, and you know what? They will just put the portions and put it on people who caused them. But that was even because they were able to even, no, that even happened because one, they were not even able to determine that that was going to happen. So why will people bear the cost of that? So it should be a systemic engineering that should even foresee that this shouldn't even be the way to play, the way to operate. If I'm making sense, please, if I'm moving too fast, let me know so I can take your comments. But then, please just take it for the fact that that background is the essence of this discussion. And the three key areas I want you to look at is a kind of line of defense model. First line, we look at the front office operations, on the risk. Second, second line, the monitor, the challenge design framework, and you'll also be looking at it in that the internal control, independent assurance that all of 1 and 2 are safe. So that's where the software now comes in. Your software is not something that should be too